We are hearing a lot of reports of a lot of damage in Baltimore, specifically in the Inner Harbor area. We do have Captain Roy Taylor and SkyTeam 11 right now. Roy, what are you seeing at this point?
Down here at Light Street, Pratt Street, the Inner Harbor area, a large group of the protesters that were up at City Hall came down here, and when they worked their way around the gallery, they started busting out windows of the gallery along with the jewelry store. There must have been about 100, 150 individuals that ended up doing destruction on Pratt Street, and then they worked their way across to the Inner Harbor pavilions where a lot of stores are there, and the city police were trying to protect and apprehend individuals that were causing destruction here. But right now it's been pretty much a cat and mouse game. It's been hit and miss between these protesters that are trying to split up city forces to cause as much havoc as they possibly can. Now, we've seen a lot of destruction where the windows have been busted out. Stores have had a lot of damage done to them. I haven't seen any looting per se at the time. It looks more like a destruction of property as opposed to looting at the present. But it appears that at one time they actually called a signal 13, which meant officer needed assistance right here at Pratt and Calvert on that corner that photographer Bobby Moore is showing you right now. So still a tense situation going down here. There's still a large contingent up by City Hall, and now a lot of people have moved down here towards the Inner Harbor area, Pratt, Calvert Street, Light Street. We're still monitoring the situation. You can see a small group there is working their way northbound on Calvert as we monitor what's going on. But we haven't received any reports of any more officers being injured other than the ones we told you about earlier tonight. But it's still a tense situation that city police have to deal with, and they're doing the best they can with the manpower that they have. As we get more, we'll update you on this. Reporting live in SkyTeam 11, I'm Captain Roy Taylor.
All right, Captain Roy, thank you. And the protests, of course, have spread across Baltimore City today and well into tonight. At one point, officers actually had to barricade City Hall as a crowd gathered outside there. 11 News reporter Trey Ward has been monitoring these protests all day long. He joins us live from downtown. And Trey, what we're seeing from Captain Roy is that some groups have moved away from City Hall. Are you seeing that, or are you still seeing a very large group of people there at City Hall?
Well, Kai, actually behind us, because we've taken a safe distance away from the frenzy. It looks as though there are still some protesters here in front of City Hall. That same unrest that Captain Roy was talking about being seen right in front of City Hall. We've seen vandalism. We've seen conflicts between police officers in riot gear and demonstrators. Now, as the captain has just reported, we've learned tonight Baltimore police have called in Maryland State Police. They're coming to protect critical buildings in the city, and that's while police work to disperse the crowds. Now, the barricade, as you mentioned, around City Hall has expanded to keep demonstrators away, and that's as the two parties continue to come into conflict. Now, we've seen what looked like tear gas being used to break up demonstrators. A police cruiser also damaged on scene. This as city leaders call for peace.
Are you ready, sisters and brothers?
A nationwide cry felt in the streets of Baltimore.
I can't breathe.
As hundreds gathered near 20th and North Charles Street, hoping for the best.
I armor up so other people don't have to get hurt today.
But prepared for the worst.
I'll get thrown in prison, and I'm fine with that so somebody else does not get shot.
Many participating in a motorcade protesting the death of George Floyd after being held down by his neck by a now former Minneapolis police officer.
We have to fight against these things. I'm very glad that they won the charging and the arrest of the main cop. Charges need to be more serious, and the other 3 need to be arrested also.
But protesters say the recent death at the hands of the ex-cop is yet another hashtag to add on the list.
How many times does it have to happen for people to come to the realization that it needs to stop?
As protests continued throughout the day outdoors, inside of City Hall.
I get it. I'm tired. You're frustrated. I'm frustrated. We're all frustrated.
Were calls for peaceful demonstrations with a warning to any outside troublemakers.
The citizens of Baltimore know how to protest peacefully. We don't want these agitators coming into our city to help burn and loot stores.
Please, Let's live another day to fight.
But soon after making those calls, crowds leaving the finished motorcade took to City Hall. Officers forced to barricade the building as a precaution.
Racist cops have got to go!
As a similar pain connects multiple rallies throughout the nation.
It's not fair, man.
Baltimore demonstrators telling us they're fighting to be the voice for change.
I want everybody to feel like they have a chance, everybody has rights. I want everybody to accept us, because we haven't been accepted for so long.
And as mentioned, demonstrators right now are being told to disperse and go home. Police tell us they'll be out here until the protest is over. Kai.
Hey Trey, you know, we've been paying attention to your tweets and everything all day, and you've been talking about how it was so peaceful earlier, and we've seen that shift over the past few hours. Are you noticing anything different about the crowd you're seeing there tonight versus, you know, earlier today and when you were there last night?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is actually what Mayor Jack Young said earlier and warned the protesters here to not be riled up by what he called agitators. We've seen people come with firecrackers, popping firecrackers in front of police officers in riot gear. They were throwing plastic bottles with what looked like clear liquid inside. We're not sure what was inside of that, but they definitely were throwing things at police officers. As we mentioned, there was also a police cruiser that was damaged. So I would say just throughout the day, as mentioned, it's been peaceful throughout the day, but just within the last hour and a half, I would say just from what we've seen, those agitators really rallying up things. Police officers now coming out with their riot gear. We're told that tear gas was being used during all of this. I think the big difference, obviously, is hundreds out here. Last night, as we reported out there, it was just a few dozen. We seem to be invited into the crowd of people. We actually have to report that we had a crew here on the scene that apparently was attacked by a few demonstrators. Our camera gear was sprayed with black spray paint. So definitely a volatile situation, definitely different from yesterday, which was mostly peaceful. Today, mostly peaceful until, once again, about an hour and a half ago.
All right, Trey, thank you. And no doubt police will be continuing to patrol throughout Baltimore throughout the night as this situation continues.